So what we've done is we did weekly activities to change school culture, which basically means how we act at school, how we speak towards one another at school, how we look at each other, how much we appreciate each other.
Now, joining me on the segment today is, of course, media personality Leonard Witbeen to tell us about this really beautiful, exciting project that's called the C Drive that aims to equip school-going children to get a C symbol in all their subjects. As we all know, the education, the way things are done now have changed, so we also have to adapt now to that changes. And the C Drive is really there to help the learners more than ever right now. And Leonard is, of course, going to give us all the details about the C Drive. Good afternoon, Leonard, and thank you for joining us on 99.
Hey, I should actually say thank you for you guys having me.
It's a huge pleasure to have you. A really beautiful thing you're doing with the C Drive. And I think right now, if you could walk us through the process of how the C Drive works and how the idea was born.
First of all, it's a community effort, of which I was just the brainchild, or I thought of it. Thereafter, I started involving community members. What I did is, as a person that has studied marketing or advertising, you tend to do informal surveys, of which you also have the formal part of it. Yeah. So whilst sitting with parents, or since we are the older generation, sitting with school-going kids, you would basically hear how confusing certain things are for them. Now, in this particular thing, it was education. They're lost as to how do I get there? They would tell you they would love to be a doctor, love to be a psychologist, but they would not know how to get there. What we also realized is these were primarily Karutura and Khomasdal high school-based learners. So it's the 14-year-olds to the 18, 19s. So based on this little survey, I realized these people need more C symbols to be where they would like to be. Because the C basically means you have captured whatever coursework you're doing to a certain level of good. Not excellent, not bad, just good.
Yeah.
So with that said, I brought upon the C Drive.
The C Drive.
So a C symbol gets you from grade 9 to 10 easily with 30 points. For AS levels, according to the Namibian system, from grade 11 to 12, they just need, well, C's. And to attain a C is not so difficult. I mean, if you study 1 hour and you get a D, what would 1.5 hours bring you?
Exactly.
What would 2 hours bring you? So that's how the C Drive came to be.
Beautiful.
We have currently 6 high schools we've approached, one in Karutura named Highline Secondary School. The rest would be in Khomasdal, Acacia, Augustinium, El Dorado, Cosmos, Ella Du Plessis high schools. So it's 6 as our pilot project. What we want at the end of the day is a greatly educated Karutura and Khomasdal community. I mean, people have brought to our attention, without saying, drug problems, alcohol problems, peer pressure, whereas a more educated learner is able to withstand any of this. You know, I mean, all of your friends could be doing makeup and stuff, but a more educated child would be like, but I love my skin. If you're talking about unprotected sex or teen pregnancy, a more educated learner who gets a lot of C's is able to read more, to say, yes, sex is good, but I really want to be a doctor one day, so here's the condom. A more educated child would be able to say, I'd love to do a little dacha, but maybe in the weekend, but once. But a less educated child would be like, come on, man, I want to do this now, I want to do it later. So education is the key.
It's the key, yeah. And what grades are you primarily targeting through the C Drive?
The emphasis is on high schools here. The bigger picture is also to bring the economic plight of our people to the fore. A lot of parents are seeking quality. When we say quality, they boast about certain schools but not about others, whereas the education system is the same. So if all the schools would have the same quality, then I could take my child in the same hood, take them from this primary school to, well, that school. In other words, we will then eliminate taxi fare, which then means Madiri 15 days that I would have paid elsewhere, like for private schools. I would then be able to afford my City of Windhoek bill, I'd be able to afford new schoolwear, and I'd then be able to afford food for my home. So the second we turn our schools into C+ schools, there is nothing to look for. It's in your area.
It is, yeah.
So it is from grade 8 to grade 12, for those that go to grade 12. Age-wise, 13 if you made it into grade 8, to 19 if you have toch missed a class or two in your earlier years. That's the age gap we're focused on.
Yeah. Now, I've been seeing some of the videos of learners and their excitement on the C Drive page on Facebook. But can you just also tell us the response that you've been getting from the learners since the launch of this project?
The response is actually a lot of facets now, but I'll focus on your question in the meantime. The learners, I'm not certain if I could use the term shocked, but the learners found it as awesome that someone, one of us, came up with an idea to enhance us. I mean, you don't know me, Mr. Witbeen, and yet you care so much about me and what I would like to attain as a Karatura Komasdal child in future. I'm like, yes, because I've always been a community guy. I mean, look at the Karatura Hall is one of them. The Karatura Hospital is one of the projects I've been involved in. The basic income grant that I'm currently still fighting for is one of them. So I'm not so distant from social projects. So for me to affect you as a parent, you as a child, you as a principal, the entire HODs, the entire life skills teachers, and overall the Namibian education system, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, do it. And
So,
you've been doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it some more, yeah?
Do it some more. And do you engage the schools or learners individually, or is it, like you mentioned, a whole pilot project that you're doing with 6 schools at once, or are you focusing on just individual schools, individual learners?
Sure.
How does that work?
What we have also realized is a lot of these schools share common challenges at their own institutions. So if they all share the same challenges, why not address all of them similarly? So what we've done is we did weekly activities to change school culture, which basically means how we act at school, how we speak towards one another at school, how we look at each other, how much we appreciate each other. So we started with No Litter Week. Oh, that was so dope.
Nice.
That automatically activated all of the schools' environmental clubs.
Yes.
Because they were slightly dormant, and these are young people. So they just need someone to say, why don't we try that? This would also work. But they also love someone that says, I love your idea. We'll make that come true. So the C Drive is actually, it's merely a big community-based initiative to enhance the already existing systems that our schools were supposed to have enhanced, such as disciplinary committees, environmental clubs, life skills classes. Make it more fun. Since it's life skills, these learners need, not want, need these skills developed in those 5 years, if not 4, to use in their universities or in life. So we're just there to enhance everything.
To enhance everything.
And as a community, we have a lot of skills people on our team, a few operations managers, project. These people work on a voluntary basis to help the C Drive advance to a higher level. So we've set goals of 5 years, 10 years. We'll be around for 10 years though. And it's so far so good. From No Litter Week to No Bunking Week, where we advised LRCs,
we used to bunk like crazy in high school.
Well, it's a we for me. Whereby we just want to strengthen the LRCs, the class captains, to realize you cannot only wear a badge and have a title. It has to be accompanied by something you do that actually helps your CV at the end of the day. You cannot just have a title and now you get employed and you're like, yeah, I was a class captain, but I don't know how to lead a team. You were leading 35 learners. You should have by now been able to say, no, this is what they do. So if they behave that way, we do this.
Yeah.
So we did No Bunking Week, No Litter Week, Appreciation Week, guys.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Just small tokens on how you as a school child, you as a teacher,
Can make a difference.
can just come and show the other
It's
person
true.
without money how much you appreciate them. Like a little note. Hi, Teresa. I appreciate the way you hugged me the other day. I really felt under the weather. And thanks for the other green jersey. Oh, Team Eldorado. That type of thing. And all of these activities brought learners to unify. Now they started realizing, but we are actually unified. There were just no activities to push it.
And that's where C Drive comes in.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had B Drive Week as well. As much as we require toch C's, we'd love learners who can excel to become B, A and A plus learners to do it. And to that effect, we offered world-class study techniques training for grade 8 to 9s on a certain day after school, so we don't impede on the school time. The grade 10, 11, and 12 we did the next day. And they found it so useful because we incorporated now motivational videos work. So they saw how other people also have similar human stuff like they do. Like, everybody suffers. Everybody feels, nee man, I'd rather sleep than study toch man. Others feel, do I have to study? So for them, it was such an eye-opener to see that we all have gone through it or are still going through it, that to study and to excel is just the best thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah, beautiful. Leonard, before we let you go, just how can learners or schools get in touch with you in terms of just your number? I know you also have a Facebook page on Facebook called The C Drive. Are they able to message you there, or where else can they get a hold of you?
Fair enough. Messaging is very welcome through the social media pages. Alternatively, 085 285 2737. So it's 085 285 2737 is a number they can always dial until 5 p.m.
After 5 p.m., please.
More to that, the project is so huge. I barely know where to start or where to finish. But prior to me leaving this interview, I just want to name, we had the biggest honor of having Windhoek's mayor, Miss Her Worship, Shade Gavanas, adding her name to a C Drive project, which we now call the Shade Gavanas Academic Awards.
Beautiful.
So if 60% of any of these schools average C's, they can get their gold floating trophy, courtesy of our mayor. If 50% of the entire school, bear in mind why I say entire school. So if grade 8A has a lot of E's, but grade 11A has a lot of A's, grade 8A's E's have automatically brought down the standard of the school. So now, ons mos nou met mekaar praat. Guys, how do we get grade 8A to C level? Now comes the teachers, now comes the HODs to say, guys, we need to perform. So this trophy and these awards are primarily meant to enhance teamwork to the extent where they rise
Together.
to C level together, so that we all can prosper. So yeah, that's the bigger dream.
Yeah, no, I mean, the dream is definitely, it's visible, it's there, and you're definitely doing the things with the C Drive. Really, really beautiful initiative.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that you, were able to come in today to come share with us about the C Drive. So thank you so much, Leonard, for telling us and sharing this beautiful initiative with us here on 99 FM.
I appreciate it. I appreciate everything. You guys are the one. So good night, 99 FM listeners all over the world.
Yes.
Good morning, China. Good evening, America. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you, Leonard. Leonard Witbeen in the studio telling us about this amazing initiative called the C Drive. If you want to learn more and know exactly what it's about, there is a Facebook page. It's called the C Drive, and everything is on there, from the schools that he's visited, the learners, of course, also just sharing their excitement about the C Drive. So do go follow the page, and you can get all the details there. Maybe even join if you'd like to. So do go follow the C Drive on Facebook. And that was MYD Heart for today.